Hi there, and thanks for tuning into this week's edition of your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter. This week I'm broadcasting to you. We're out on an excursion from our base in Limassol, Cyprus, here to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. I'm actually standing on top of a magnificent 1500-year-old castle called St. Hilarion, with an amazing view of the north coast of Cyprus. And driving through this area and touring around these parts has been a very eye-opening experience for myself, and I know many others in the group, because to me, the theme of division comes up. And I've touched on this in an earlier newsletter because, of course, Cyprus has been divided for the better part of 48 years since the invasion in 1974. And our guide was explaining today how much she felt the comparison between what's happening today between Russia and the Ukraine, a foreign power coming in and invading, driving people from their homes, causing millions of people to flee as refugees into neighboring countries. And of course, many of us may remember back to 1974 when Turkey invaded Cyprus. Of course, I'm not a political scientist specialist nor a particularly good historian. But that's part of the reason why we come on trips like this, is to try to learn and understand a bit about the divisions that have arisen in our cultures, in our communities during the course of time in recent memory. And you know, this is for me what travel is really all about, is trying to understand divisions. And I think that the more of us that get out into the world and look at these places which are a part of history and what happened and why it happened, because let's face it, I mean, the Cypriots we've met here, both in the south on the Greek side, a Greek-speaking side of Cyprus, and here in the north, have been wonderful people, and largely there is no animosity towards one another, because let's face it, they were living in relative peace and harmony until all of a sudden government's politics got involved, and these divisions have happened, which are essentially still unresolved from a political level. And at least now people can travel back and forth between the two regions. And I know that at a political level, I know that in working on this program here in Cyprus and dealing with the tourism boards and so on, there was definitely some unhappiness about the fact that we wanted to explore both sides of the region, because at an official level, it is still considered an occupied territory. Of course, it's not an official state here where I'm standing. It's more effectively like a province of Turkey, because it's not recognized by the majority of the United Nations, with the only exception of course, Turkey. So this is what we try to explore as part of our trips, and particularly part of our live-aways, because by spending time here and talking to people and learning about these issues at a greater level of depth gives us a better understanding about world affairs. So in any event, it's time for me to run back and carry on with our journey around this beautiful country. If you have not decided on travel for later this year, you might want to join us this week for our last minute trips in 2022 webinar. It's coming up this coming Thursday. We'll be talking to you about a few of the trips where we have some spots available. So I'll catch up with you again soon. In the meantime, take care, and we'll see you next week.